Welcome back to the Gunn Show, my friends. We truly appreciate you. If you have stumbled across this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Google, the MTDCNC website, thank you for stumbling across it. But if you saw Gunn Show and you thought, man, I can't wait to learn about some guns, I'm sorry. Sometimes we talk about it. Most of the time we don't. And if you stumble on to what you think is going to be muscles, yeah, I don't have any of those either. I'll flex for you for those watching on YouTube. Yep, no muscles. Don't have those either. So I apologize. I hope you stick around because you might learn something a little bit today. We like to have a lot of fun on this show. We do talk a lot about manufacturing, the invisible industry of everything around us, but we try to humanize it as well and have a little fun. My production engineer over here, Christian, we're on episode 40, 50 something at this point, and I think he might actually like it by now. I'm not sure. We're not sold. Yeah, he's giving a más y menos for my Espanol friends out there, more or less. But we're doing our best. We're trying to make this industry fun and exciting. So if you did stop by for muscles or guns, I apologize. The Gunn Show is just a play on my last name as I'm trying to show my shirt on a camera when everything is opposites and it messes me up for those watching on YouTube right now. It is a play on my last name, Gunn in Espanol. It's Antonio Pistolas. I think I like it better in Spanish. It's a lot of fun that way. But welcome to the show. This is a show where we humanize manufacturing. We try to have a lot of fun. We try to dive deep into the guests to understand where they come from, how they got here, why they got here, what excites them about manufacturing, and a hope that maybe it helps you want to be a part of this amazing industry as well, because we truly do make everything around us, remove the air, remove humans. I mean, don't, because both of those are pretty important. If you do remove the air, you probably will remove humans. But what I'm saying is everything that's not air or humans is touched by manufacturing in one way or another. So first thing I want to talk about today, Christian, how do you like my new toy that I was gifted from the American Precision Museum at IMTS just recently?
Super cool. I was had my eye on it as soon as you walked in. It's very, very interesting looking. It should probably put it on camera, right?
If you can, that'd be great. Zoom in on it if you can. But yeah, this is a gift. It's a shaper machine. So the American Precision Museum was kind enough to show a bit of gratitude for what we did for them with the tour and the podcast. And the American Precision Museum, for those of you who don't know, is the original Silicon Valley. It's in Vermont, kind of an hour and a half away from the closest airport. But they brought me this gift at IMTS, this shaper, and it's one of a kind. It's it hadn't been inventoried, and they were so thoughtful to do that. So I had to give them a shout out today. It's definitely a new piece for the incredible swag wall we have for every single one of these shows. If you guys have something you want to show off, by all means, send it in. We got the Heimer doll behind me and the Buddha from Hermele, and just above my head is a great gift from my friend Dr. Kitamura. And the list goes on and on. I'm very grateful. I think if I slide one way or another, I got Darth Vader. So yeah, let's use the Force a little bit one way or another. All right, so let's move on. This is an MTDCNC production, and we always have to thank our sponsors. We appreciate them so much. The AMT team, Bonnie, MC, you're incredible. EBITDA Growth Systems, for those of you who don't know who that is, EBITDA Growth Systems guarantees that they will double your profits within 3 years. I mean, if I owned a machine shop, I'd call them right now and say, show me the paperwork immediately. Guarantee you'll double my profit. Why wouldn't everyone do that? Whether you're selling or struggling or whatever it might be, they can help you organize what's going on and double your profits. Crazy. It's crazy awesome. Shop Floor Coffee as well, for those of you who are drinking coffee out there and it's just some generic brand that you're buying in bulk and blah, blah, blah. Invest in a company that's investing in us. Shop Floor Coffee gives back a percentage of their proceeds to manufacturing, different proceeds, different charities, different groups. But get in touch with them. Shop Floor Coffee, incredible. And then, coincidentally, the American Precision Museum is also a sponsor. So thank you guys, Jerry, Rex, Steve, all the folks over there. And thank you for the gift one more time. Games today, well, we don't know. We haven't really talked about it. The guy who's here with me today, like I said, I consider him a friend, and he just showed up. He just happy. We planned it. Don't get me wrong, but we didn't plan the conversation. We didn't plan the games. We didn't plan any of that kind of stuff. So we're winging it, and we're gonna have fun today. But he's a good friend. I know him quite well. I've traveled with him a bit, and we have stories to tell today. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. So without any further ado, please welcome my good friend, Bob Nedler, Managing Director at Hwacheon Machinery America. And let me just say, they taught me a while ago how to say this. Not Hwacheon. It's like having a watch and having it on is what they taught me. So let's all try to get it right, because I was saying it really wrong in the beginning. So, Bob, thank you so much for being here, my friend. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Welcome back to the Gunn Show, my friends. This is the VIP edition. Well, the first thing I like to do before we get started is we like to lubricate everyone to get them even more excited to be here, right? Is to have a sip of tequila, scotch, bourbon, something like that, right? And we like to have a toast while we do that. And while you toast, hopefully you've been thinking about what you like to say. I also have a gift for you. So that's what this box is for.
Thank you
You
very
don't have to
much.
open it right now, but please do take it with you. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here, coming all the way to South Florida and joining us on this show. I mean, someone of your caliber and character, it's tough to tie you down. You're such a busy man, but we do appreciate
Lot
your
of
time
travel.
being here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, very good. Well, I was thinking about that, and actually, I'm making a toast that IMTS is over.
It's fun and exhausting at the same time, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely. But now the fun really begins because we get to find good solutions for our customers. So here's to our customers. Cheers.
Great toast. And this is a nice bourbon. We cheers for you guys. I'm going to tell a super quick story. Yeah. So because you did that, super quick story. And this, and I think I may have told this once before on the podcast, but I'll reiterate just in case somebody missed that one. And this, I might have had a lie told to me as well, Bob. But have you ever had been to Japan?
Oh, yeah.
And udon noodles? Do you know the culture there when you eat the noodles, this noodle soup there?
Yes.
The
Slurping it up.
Were you ever taught why?
No.
So, okay, this could be a lie, but what I was taught was before TV was a thing, and in order to advertise something on radio, how do you show that it's delicious? Right? You make the noise.
Very good.
You, that kind of thing. And it just became tradition to honor the chef that they've done a good job. They keep slurping. Now, I hope I wasn't lied to. It makes sense, and I've reshared this story about a dozen times at this point, so I hope I'm not lying to everyone, but I do preface it always with, I could have been lied to. But that's the story I was told. So when you do that with the bourbon, compliments to the brewer, right?
That's right. That's right. And it tastes fantastic.
I'm happy you like it. I'm happy you're here. All right, so let's get into kind of the reason why a lot of our listeners, a lot of our watchers join in. It's to get to know people, right? It's to remove the veil. So many of us, we do a wonderful job selling our machines, selling our tools, selling our products, oftentimes selling ourselves through our products, tools, and machines, that we forget about that we're all human. And we all came from somewhere. And that somewhere could be a connection that we maybe didn't know we had, right? We could have been misfits. We could have been university superstars. We could have been anything in between, right? But we all have a journey and we all have a story. And that's what we like to do here. We like to humanize that. Now, looking at you, you look about 25, 30 years old, somewhere around that range. But I have seen your resume, and you've been doing this for quite a while. In fact, you started as a machinist. But before you became a machinist, how did you even get into this?
Oh, that's funny because I didn't want to get into this industry.
I'm already laughing about that, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to get into electronics and become an electrical engineer and wanted to study for that. When I graduated high school, my plan was to go on to, go to college and get my degree. And my dad said, no, you have to work first. He grabbed me and he threw me in a machine shop.
Hold on, we got to take an immediate pause. Christian, did you hear that? You heard that as well, yeah? He's shaking his head yes for everyone who's can't see him, which is everybody except me and Bob. Did you just say, I want to go to college, and your dad said, no, you're going to work first?
He wanted me to pay for it myself.
Oh, okay. Because almost everyone's like, no, go to college. It's the way you can make a career. That's what you... Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, and so he got me a job in the machine shop that he worked at. It was a family-run company called Special Tool Engineering in Chicago. And I jumped into it and started making some money and was being taught the trade, right? So I went through kind of like an apprenticeship. I mean, first I was sweeping the floor, getting the chips off the floor, and then slowly, step by step, they taught me different things and got involved in the CNC machines.
So you and I started in a similar fashion of sweeping and mopping floors. I mean,
There you
that was my overtime. Like, give it all to me. I'm willing to clean floors. It's okay. And we talk about this subject in general a lot with the generations. I think maybe due to social media, just seeing all of the success of people, but it feels immediate, right? Because nobody shares the struggles. Everyone shares the highlight reel of their life, right? But the truth of the matter is the majority of us, if not, let's just say vast majority of us started and worked our way up. And you've described something to me, and it looks like here, if I'm reading this correctly, you were 7 years special tool engineering as well, yeah?
I think it was 7 or 6 years, yeah. yeah. I started out, just general and, like I said, sweeping the floors, and then they taught me how to, drill holes in a drill press and so forth. But then I got involved in the NC side or the CNC side, and just fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
That
What
was
did you
really
love
cool.
about it?
Well, you're automating. It's a robot, right? And I'm programming this robot to cut materials and so forth, and that was kind of exciting. Yeah, I wanted to be an electrical engineer, but this was kind of the same path, more technology. And then I was like the programmer, setup person for the machining centers, and my boss, he took care of the turning centers, and just kept on growing from there. And I just fell in love with it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of technology. But then I saw these technicians coming in working on the machine. Oh yeah, brings back my memory. I wanted to do something like that, electrical engineer, and just watched them and said, "That's what I want to do. That's where I want to go." And my brother was working at the company as well, and he left and went into the machine tool sales side of it. He told me, "Hey, there's a position open at XYZ company. Why don't you come and take a look?" And I thought, I'm very happy where I'm at and doing what I want to do, but I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Because he was telling me I'll make a lot more money.
Money drives us the most, I think, when we're younger, right?
Absolutely. So I went there and not thinking, I'm going to get the job. I just was brutally honest, and they hired me on the spot.
Can you, by chance, remember any of that conversation of what you mean by brutally honest?
Oh, I just told them what I know and where I wanted to go.
And they like, we want you right now.
Yeah, they saw what my capability, and I was being hired as an applications engineer, coming from the machine tool or the machinist area, coming in and becoming a applications engineer. But at that company, you had to be a service engineer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of what I wanted to do anyway.
And they hired you on the spot in an interview. You didn't think you were going to get the job.
No, I just answered straightforward and told them what I want, and yeah, they hired me.
Well, they saw something in you that maybe you didn't see, but has obviously proven to be true based on where we are today.
I think I was technically knowledgeable
Yeah.
about how to run the machines and so forth. So yeah.
And it kind of takes you back to the electrical engineering, mechanical engineering side a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Bob, is it okay if I mention some dates of when you were a machinist?
Oh, sure.
The reason I say that is because you mentioned just now automation. And I would make the discussion with you that automation is new to some people right now in the year we're in right now. And I'm looking at 1986.
Mm-hmm.
1986, you're already playing in the automated world.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not a new thing.
Oh, no. I remember that first day on the job. I think it was August I started. And here we go, IMTS 86.
Wow.
And so I'm on this side of the wall now, and that was quite an eye-opener and experience, getting setting all these machines up in the booth. And at that time, we were on the Lakeside building, right? We weren't with the new hall, so it was the older hall. And yeah, that was so exciting. I still
That was your
remember
first?
that. Yeah, well, I went there as a machinist.
Did you get to go?
Yeah.
See, I didn't. I didn't even know IMTS was a thing when I was a machinist. So, but you knew about it, and then you
Yeah.
got to go
Yeah, that was
on the booth side of things.
on the booth side, and then from that point forward, as I was working for that company, I set up every single show, and it was pretty enjoyable.
Is that why you also toasted just a few minutes ago that you're happy it's over?
Yeah.
But you really enjoy it at the same time because you've been doing it since 1986?
Back in those days, it was 2 weeks long.
Okay. Oh, can we talk about this for just a second? So I heard a rumor the reason why it was 2 weeks long is because in those days, people brought in prints and discussed jobs and sat down, can we do this? And fully needed the 2 weeks in order to get projects done, whereas now we're online a lot. But was it necessary to have those 2 weeks back then?
Well, when I was there, I thought no.
Did you work the whole 2 weeks?
Oh yeah, over the weekend. And
You're a better man than me, but we already knew. Everyone already knew that.
But yeah, there was a lot more engineering going on, and talking about projects and buying machines at the show, and yeah,
Wow.
a lot more involved than it is today. Although it's still about the technology. They're looking for new technology or solutions for their manufacturing, but it's a little bit different than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted with the 6 days now. I think if I had to do 2 weeks, I would just split teams of what I'm doing right now. Just, okay, you guys come in for 6. I'll be there for 6. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm exhausted by the end of it.
Right, right. The weekends were okay. I mean, it was a little lighter. Maybe Saturday was a little heavy. Sunday was getting over your hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you could just say whatever you want on this show, my friend. But still, I find that I'm losing my voice by the middle of the week.
Oh, yeah.
3-4 days in. How does that recover at 2 weeks? I mean, Saturday, Sunday, certainly with a hangover is not going to help with a voice coming back.
I went to one of the IMTs. I can't remember the year. It was when Sammy Sosa was playing, and he broke the world record. And I went to that game.
Leave that in the comments for everyone, whoever's listening and watching right now. When did Sammy Sosa do that? All right, go ahead, Bob.
And I lost my voice, screaming so loud and cheering. The next day I come to the show, I couldn't talk to anybody.
You a big fan?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
How many?
It was Sammy Sosa and McGuire. They were
going head to head to see who's going to break the record, right?
Right. And I think Sammy got 3 home runs that game or 4.
And no steroids involved, right? We're not allowed to say. How many other people do you think lost their voice that day?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot, I'm sure.
Everybody was cheering. Super loud. Fantastic.
What a cool moment to be a part of. All right. So you are now evolving in manufacturing. And as I look here, you've given a lot of service to this industry, man. I'm seeing, 17 years and 4 years and 6 years. I mean, I don't want people to start doing the math on all this, right? But you are currently the managing director and have been for almost 12 years now at Hwacheon.
Yes.
So how's that journey been as you've continued to evolve from mopping floors and sweeping floors?
Well, I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, I learned step by step. Now, that company I was working for, it was a Japanese importer, and they sold machine tools, some big brand names. And I was the applications engineer, and then became the service manager, and then technical sales support. And I just kept on going up, and I hit the ceiling. The next step was sales. Got to go into sales. I have no idea about sales, right?
No kidding.
No idea about sales. I was an engineer, and I even told, I had one boss there that kept on saying, after our meetings, now go out and sell something. And I looked at my buddy who was a salesman, and I said, what the hell is he talking about? I'm not in sales.
Go out and sell something.
I'm not in sales.
Is he talking to me?
And then one day, I thought, well, maybe this is the next step. I got to move into sales. I'm already doing the technical sales support, right? And I would go out on sales calls with everybody and dominate the meeting. And then one day this managing director at the time, who was opening up the South offices, said he's looking for somebody. And I've been on sales calls with his salesmen, and I thought to myself, I could do this. So I looked at him and I said, I can outsell your salesman. Why don't you just hire me? Oops.
That's a statement. Way to be blunt again, huh?
Next thing I know, I'm down in Nashville, Tennessee, all by myself. I remember being in my hotel room with my little Macintosh computer and thinking, now what? I called him up and I said, what do I do now? I'm shaking, I have no idea what to do. And he said, just pick up the phone and make calls. Just ask if you, have an opportunity to talk to them about the machinery that I represent. So that's what I did, and in 3 years, I became the #1 office in the South. There.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I didn't have that personality, that I could just talk to anybody, right? But I had the technology, or the knowledge behind me about the technology. And once I got a project, it was like a shark in the water with blood. I never let go. I just attacked it and crushed it. So, yeah, that's how I started in sales.
Well, thanks for that visual, because we're in South Florida, the sharks out there. So I won't be getting in the water today, but maybe tomorrow. Okay, so I would make the discussion that the best salespeople out there come from a technical background, much like you did. And not to take away from any of the sales guys that didn't take that route, but I find that when we get into a sales conference room, a lot of the questions have to do with technical know-how, when we're learning about these machines. But I would also make the discussion that it takes a lot of courage to step out of those technical shoes and step into a sales role. You already
Yes.
mentioned shaking.
Yeah.
What was it like as that evolution? Because if I look at you today, and I didn't know you back then, Bob, and you already said, I'm not the outgoing person making the sales. You are now. Everyone loves you.
Everybody
Are you?
changes with
Yeah.
time.
So you have obviously evolved in this time and become a new, whether it's better or worse, that's for you to decide, and probably your wife and family, but a new version of yourself. And you've continued to evolve and incorporate yourself to grow within the industry. But it takes a moment of looking in that mirror and seeing if this is the route you want to take, right? So what was that moment like for you when you went from technical side to sales side?
Well, I had a great opportunity when I was working for that Japanese company. They hired some of the best salesmen in the industry and brought them into managerial roles, and they built offices, built sales teams. And I would go out with these guys, all different personalities, but they were the big wigs of the industry. And I got to learn, a little bit here, a little bit there. And I put together my own style just from learning from these giants of the industry. And just developed my own style. More technical. But my partner, I also owned a machine shop, or not a machine shop, but a machine tool dealership. And my partner, he was one of those bigwig guys. And he once told me, hey, look, there's two types of salesmen. There's the racehorse, the thoroughbred, and there's the mule. Both are going to get to the top of that mountain, but one gets there faster than the other. And he was more of that racehorse, boom, boom, ask those key questions. If it wasn't ready to buy or move forward, boom, he's off to the next one. But like I said, when I smelt a project, I hung on until the end. He doesn't have the patience for that. So there's two different styles there. And I was never going to be the racehorse racing to the finish line. I was more step by step. And
Methodical.
Yeah, methodical.
Yeah, making sure that it worked.
Yeah. No, I mean, there are salesmen that could sell circles around me because they had that special talent to conversation.
Sales can be a talent, can't it? Yeah.
It is a talent. It is a talent. But they couldn't outsell me in technology or the knowledge base. So yeah, give and take. Give and take.
I did research for my next opportunity because I wanted to write a book. And I came across this statistic that 70% of small business owners want to fund their retirement through the sale of their business, when in fact only 20% of them actually had a saleable business. And it broke my heart anticipating the fact that baby boomers, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and in fact it was a train. And so I really wanted to do something about that. So I wrote a book called Scaling the Exit. The purpose of the book was to articulate a strategy for small to medium-sized business owners to increase the value of their business to the extent that they could actually sell it and fund their retirement. And that was really the first iteration of what became EBITDA Growth Systems and our brand promise, which is to double the valuation of small, medium-sized businesses, specifically in terms of an exit, but double their valuation, or we give them their money back.
I would like to, this is probably a bad segue, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to fast forward a ton on this journey because of what I know about you now and the experiences I've had with you, understanding about Hwacheon, yeah? And that's what you just described about being that person that makes sure things work, that's technical, that you said shark in the water, which is, I don't like to envision that. I'm always in the ocean around here surfing and playing, so try not to envision that. But you're not going to be that racehorse that wants to just bounce and zip forward. So the reason I bring that up is because what I know about you right now and what I know about Hwacheon right now is you are that company that wants to be there for that partner, that client, that potential client, as almost like family. You want to be family with these folks. Make sure that they're successful. It's not I'm going to sell one or even sell 10. It's let's see what we can do for your next generation of family as you continue to pass this down. We want to be your reliable resource to make sure you're taken care of. It's almost like you were manifesting the position and family that you wanted to work with at Hwacheon, even in your working style. So as you transitioned, did it almost feel like a perfect fit?
Yeah, it really did. After my journey with that Japanese company, I went to the other side of the world and went into European companies and worked with them. So I learned more technology, 5-axis technology and so forth, and kept on learning, building on top of each skill level, right? And when Hwacheon approached me, I'll never forget, I was in a Caterpillar meeting. We were becoming a global supplier for them. I brought the whole team from Europe there, and we're getting this all set up. And then a friend of mine called me and started talking about this this Korean company that he's working for. And he was telling me all the technology they have and everything. And I finally said, okay, what do you want? What do you need? I'm in a big meeting here. And he said, I want you to come on board. Why don't you come and we'll fly you over to Korea and we'll see that. And I'll never forget that. I didn't know what to expect. I've been in European factories and Japanese factories, and I knew what they were all about, but I didn't quite understand. I did sell Korean equipment in the past, but I didn't quite understand about their manufacturing capabilities. So I went there, and my eyes, well, you experienced it. My eyes really shot up wide open. Wow, you could blindfold me and bring me into their plant, and I could be in any one of those European or Japanese plants. Very, very clean and organized, and the technology they were building was fantastic. And I remember the next thing I was going to meet one of the owners, and so he brings me into his office, sits me down, and pouring me coffee. He was like my father. It was that family style. The whole company is still family owned. They're going on their 3rd generation of being family owned. And that blew me out of the water, because the other companies I worked for in the past, they were just big corporations, and you were just a number. And maybe you met some of the people at the top, but they don't remember.
They weren't pouring your coffee, were they?
No, they weren't pouring my coffee. So just that feeling. And I looked at my friend and I said, yep, I want the job. And that's where it started.
And has it felt like family since the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember a couple of years back, one of the sons of this gentleman who was pouring me the coffee, he's now he's our chairman of the board now. His sons now are presidents of the company, so we're going on that 3rd generation. And I remember being in a business meeting, and one of the sons was talking to the client and everything. He looked over at me. He says, I consider Bob one of my friends. Wow. That really hit me hard. Yeah, this is the right company for me. Yeah.
Well, I consider you a friend as well. I know it's not as valuable as that, but I can certainly empathize with what it means to connect like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the machines, because I also want to talk about Korea. But I think it's important for us to talk a little bit about the machines, because when you and I met last year, and we were talking about the possibility of doing a little work together, and me learning about Hwacheon and the capabilities and this family organization. I almost feel like I went through the same thing you went through, right? Where I got to learn. And then you and I, not your first time, not my first time to Korea either, but our first time together, where I got to spend time in the foundry and I got to spend time in the plants. And it really is the highest quality machine that the world can offer. But when we first met, you said we need to do more marketing. We need to let the world know about this, right?
Right.
And we're getting there. We're getting there together. We're getting there as a family together. But along the way, let's talk about the quality that goes into Hwacheon. It is our responsibility to talk about that quality, right? So we talk about the foundry, we talk about the build, we talk about the hand scraping, we talk about the grinding, we talk about the precision, we talk about the fact that you guys customize anything that somebody wants customized. Because, oh, sorry, we don't want to get that out there too much. People are going to start sending all sorts of crazy orders, right? Like, we have it off the shelf only right now.
No.
But you guys are really good at at making sure your people are taken care of. So why along the way has the awareness not always been there, do you think?
Uh, Probably because number one, they're a very conservative company, right? So the a family-owned company, they care about their finances. They don't want to go over their skis. Extend their debt and so forth, and so they're very conservative in that way. And in the early days, they were concerned about their domestic market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they dominate in that market. There's like 9 factories we have now, and 35 service centers.
And you're the
just
first machine tool as well, if
first
I'm not
machine
mistaken.
tool
Yeah,
builder,
in Korea.
so there's a big history in South Korea. They do special projects for the government and companies like Samsung and so forth. So, I mean, that's where they were focused and not on a global base. Um, but then they hired a gentleman by the name of Klaus Ludwig. He's the vice president. You know
Amazing
Klaus?
guy. Amazing guy. Truly an amazing guy.
And he was in charge to start opening up the world market. And that's when we, started looking at how we're managing each subsidiary. And I work for Hwacheon Machinery America for North and South America sales and service. And we decided to go in a different direction, right? We want to broaden the market. Back in the early days, they were basically just selling commodity lathes, entry-level lathes, and not too many machining centers. And my background was machining centers, right? And so I came in, I'm going to make it 50-50 market share. And we started going that direction, got close 60-40, but we're still heavy on the turning center side. So, yeah, we weren't well known because, A, we weren't branding or marketing over here, very rarely in the magazines and so forth. And we were only known for commodity lathes in the very beginning. But then, step by step, since I came in 2012, I just started opening that up, bringing the technology of the machine tool, of the software, our designs and so forth. I've been trying to make brand awareness, and trying new things every year. And now I would say, yeah, people know who Hwacheon, really is. But we still got a long road to go. So.
Yeah, well, it's a fair perspective for you to say so, and you're right. People do know. People definitely know. If we can take a moment and just maybe list 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 bullet points that are the differences of a Hwacheon machine as a general rule. And even though, you and I are in perfect harmony in this conversation, that might be one thing you want to bring up as well. But I know I've been to your foundry. I've seen how it's built. I've seen the construction. I know that your foundry doesn't just serve Hwacheon, but the quality of your foundry makes other very important and well-known bases out there for castings out there for people, right? So if we were just going to say a few bullet points for someone just learning today about the differences, because I've talked to some of your customers. You got one customer that's bought, I'm probably going to exaggerate, but it felt this way in my mind when I was doing the interview, 50 machines in 5 years or something like that. It was crazy.
Well, we have another one with 800, but...
Oh, I haven't done that interview yet. 800 in how many years?
I think it started 2010.
800 machines in 14 years? Stop it. Stop it right now. Are you kidding me?
Something like that.
Can I be the sales guy for that one? I could retire if I'm the sales guy for that one.
Sure.
All right, but a few bullet points about what truly makes you guys elite and different that someone might not know.
Well, we already talked about the family, right? It's a family-run company, and for now close to 80 years, building machine tools, right? So I was once told by the honorary chairman, and we were in a board meeting together, and at the end he wanted to close with some inspiring words, and he told me, look, what Hwacheon means is that we want to build the perfect machine and bring that to market. We're not just building Me Too and commodity product. We want to build the perfect machine. Now that's far-reaching, right? And a perfect machine. It's still built by humans, so there still may be a little error here or there, but we're trying to design a higher quality machine, typically that you find in the marketplace. It starts with, I always say, many of the interviews we did together, starts from the foundation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's where the foundry comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the company was founded as a foundry in 1945. So it
I don't
first
think I
started.
realized that.
It started as a foundry, right?
Okay.
The founding father, the grandfather of the company, he started it as a foundry in 1945 at the end of the war. And at that foundry, we build all kinds of components, not only machine tool components, but railway components, and a major one is robots. So we're a big partner with Fanuc Robot.
I didn't know if you were going to be allowed to say that out loud or not, but I'm
no.
happy you did.
No, I'm very proud of that one. I'm very proud of that one, yeah. A lot of those big boom robots you see, we cast them. We're not machining them. They go back to Japan, and Fanuc takes care of all the machining and assembly.
Shows the quality of the castings, though, in my opinion. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, there's a long partnership there. And actually, on one of our main campuses in Changwon, you could see the Fanuc robot facility right on the same block as us, on the same campus. And then in the front corner, you can see the yellow buildings, and it's the Fanuc CNC campus right on our block, too. So, I mean, there's a partnership there, right? So it starts with that foundation. Sorry, I went too long on that.
No,
one.
you didn't. That was actually I was reminiscent. I was daydreaming about when we were there, actually. I was thinking, I want to go back again already.
Coming from other machine tool builders, when I was in the factory and I watched them assembling these machines, and there was one machine, it's a 5-axis machine, it's a box structure type machine, overhead gantry, and I was looking at that, and they're assembling it, but they're not using any shims to, kind of square everything up. And I asked them, what if this is off? The casting's off. What do you do? Are you placing shims under the ways and so forth? They looked at me, started talking Korean. They said, "No, Mr. Nedler, we throw the casting away."
No shims.
That's right. I mean, they own the foundry, so get a good casting. Don't get a casting you got to put Band-Aids on.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What a great response.
Oh, it was fantastic. Right then I thought, oh, this is quality.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming from high-end machine tools out of Europe, and they were still putting some shims in there once in a
I
while.
see it all the time.
And no, they're scraping and grinding, and they're trying to make that perfect machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one aspect. It starts from the foundation, doing everything correct as you're manufacturing the machine tool. The other area is we use top-notch components in our machine. So we're not looking for the cheapest supplier. I worked for this one company, and we would go to the R&D meetings, and we were looking for the lowest cost supplier to squeeze every penny out of it. Didn't matter if it was quality or not. This brand is better than this brand. No, get the cheaper brand. Not with Hwacheon. We're looking for the top notch. So if we're buying ball screws and bearings, we're looking for the best quality to go into our machine tool. So that's how you control the quality, right, when you're building a machine. It starts with that foundation. Make sure you got the right structure, and when you're putting it together, everything's at the highest, quality standard, and then the subcomponents on top of it. That's a stack-up error, right? So if you have good components in it, it should come out with good quality at the end result. And then we take, care of all the little fine details. Well, this isn't a detail. The spindles. The spindles are built by Hwacheon, designed and built by Hwacheon. We have several different styles of spindles, all the way up to our premier spindle, which is an oil jet spindle. It's an integral motor design spindle with cooling jackets around.
So one
them.
that's cut in the shower head that you and I just
Yeah.
discussed, that can run
Yeah.
for days and weeks on end with no issue.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're injecting cooled oil right to the bearings, and then we have a suction pump, and we pull out that heat and recycle it. And it's one of the highest quality spindles that I've seen in a machine tool. And they last forever, unless you crash them.
I like how you whisper that part. and I have crashed a machine before, but
No, every spindle will break after a lot of abuse, but no, these are really high quality spindles, and they do the right job. So it's about controlling the quality all through the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the foundation to the subcomponents to our components going into the machine. And then the other area, I would say the last area I would like to point out is in the software area. You know, you have your standard controls out there. We're a big primary user of Fanuc, obviously. We make the Fanuc robots.
Seems like a
We have
good
a
team effort. Yeah.
partnership. But, you know, we use other brands as well, you know, Heidenhain, Siemens, Mitsubishi.
When the customers want it, right?
Yeah, or for certain applications. Yeah, we make a vertical machining center for the mold and die industry with a Heidenhain control on there, just because some of our European customers wanted that technology on the machine. So we'll look at it case by case and put the proper CNC on there. But it also starts with the software that's going into the CNC. And you get your standard software packages from a Fanuc, but Hwacheon is a designer of some technologies in conjunction with Fanuc. So like we built our own tool load detection system, and we put that on our machines. We have something called Optima, and it actually is artificial intelligence for feed rate adaptive, you know, on your
Built
CNC.
in.
Built in.
I know a
Built
lot of
into that.
external companies that work on that kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You can get those products offline, but this is from Hwacheon, and we've seen it time and time again. You turn that thing on, and you could save 20 to 30% on
Easily.
your
Yeah.
cycle
People
time.
don't realize that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a great system.
Yeah, if you had to program that in, you know, to
Every detail.
every detail to speed it up, slow it down, you know, when it's seeing that load, it'll take you forever, and it's not cost effective. But let's let the machine tool do it. And so Hwacheon designed Optima to optimize that feed rate, adaptive feed rate
Yeah, it's
control.
brilliant. Yeah.
And then we have other things like HCCC, which is a high efficiency control, which gives you the ability to tune the drives on the fly through the NC program. So we have parameters where you can change the ACK and DEC of the machine, acceleration, deacceleration, for roughing applications or for, you know, higher precision. And then we have 9 more parameters that give you that ability for smoothing and accuracy. So you can combine these, you know, 81 different combinations, and that's very rare as well. Usually a builder will give you maybe 4 or 6 styles of tuning. We let you tune it to your application.
How difficult is it for someone to feel confident in all of these? I mean, is it also user-friendly to
Yeah,
go
it's-
along with it?
All of them that I've mentioned so far are super user-friendly. They're on screen, GUI on screen.
So it's not going to take me years to
No.
fully adapt, or even months to fully adapt. It's fairly quick.
Yeah, we can teach you in an hour how to do these.
Stop, an
softwares.
hour.
Yeah,
Not even.
easy.
I remember my training for a pretty basic machine was 3 days. Not too long ago, back when I was, you know, maybe actually it was. I'm getting old now, but you know, my training was 3 days, and I still felt like I didn't learn. It's like I still have so much to learn.
Oh yeah. No, we try to make it easy, user friendly. Now, one of the other areas in our company is we're a manufacturer of engines, so we have
I
our
remember
own
seeing that.
engine division that we're making engine blocks. Not making, we're machining. We're machining the engine block and the heads and the cams and cranks.
You actually didn't allow me to film that. I don't think we weren't allowed to show that. I got to look at it myself, but I wasn't allowed to film that part.
So we learned a lot from the manufacturing. As you saw, that's a real manufacturing plant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we learned a lot what kind of software we need to fine-tune things, and that's where a lot of this development and testing of the product came from. And then I could go on for hours, you know, about all the different software technology. But the latest one that we brought to the table is the Harmony CNC. It's our own front-end platform, loads of software. We started developing this back in, I believe it was 2012, and we started developing software suites, right? So we have this machine called the Smart UAX, which is a graphite machine, but it's like you have artificial intelligence on the CNC. It's our own platform, and you're downloading the IGES or step file, and then it self-programs itself, and it knows what tools in the magazine. It grabs the right tools. It knows where the raw material is. It's an unbelievable machine. It's about 400% more efficient than standard manufacturing. So we started that development with these softwares, and that brought us to the first generation harmony control. We brought it out a couple of years ago. Actually, I debuted it at the IMTS before, and now we're on the second generation, and it is awesome. I would put this on every CNC that we sell.
You're making me want to just go buy about 4 of your machines and get into the electrode manufacturing business. It sounds like the perfect remedy for the complications that come with graphite.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen machines get ripped apart. I've seen tooling get ripped apart. I've seen coolant. I've seen non-coolant. I've seen issue after. I mean, and not just here in the U.S., but around the world. I've helped people. Back with my last, previous lifetime when I was doing micro diameter stuff, trying to help people cut graphite with smaller 25 thou diameter, end mills, things like that. I saw mistakes all the time. Machines get ripped. And I know how important electrodes are, and I know how difficult graphite can be. If everyone had your machines, then I wouldn't have the ability to go get into the electrode business. But I could buy 4 of your machines today, start my machine shop. What do you think? Can we make a deal today?
Absolutely.
I got you on camera, right?
You're talking to the right man.
Look, right now, kids are looking at what they're going to be doing in the future, and some of them don't even know what a career in manufacturing could look like. So what we're trying to do is support organizations and initiatives that are telling kids what a career in manufacturing is. So help us give back by purchasing Shop Floor Coffee. You can find us at shopfloorcoffee.com. We're on LinkedIn. Contact us. Let us know how we can support you and your organization.
Something I want to do, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to or not, Bob, but can we invite everyone to Korea? I'm trying to solidify my trip in 2026 to this facility, and I think everyone should see it
More
firsthand.
people should go to our factory.
Should we all go to Simtos in 2026 and go to your factory? Can we get like 10 tour buses? I think we had like 4 or 5 this past time, but
Actually, one time I did take a huge contingency of dealers, right? And some customers. We took them all over there. That was very difficult.
I can imagine, but I'll help you. I've been there once before. I got a team. We can organize these folks.
Yeah.
I know you have a great team as well. They were, I think, oh gosh, a couple of your guys, I think we stressed them out a little bit because it's like,
sure.
How do I make sure these Americans get the food that they're gonna like and and not feel weird about some of the stuff that's still moving? Because I've had some Korean food that's still moving sometimes. I've had puffer fish in Korea. I had somebody bring a moving eel to my table one time to try and scare me. Like I had, did I ever tell you the first business dinner I ever had in Korea was the moving squid? Have you ever had the moving squid?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about that?
Well, I had that one time in Japan. And I've been eating raw fish the whole time I'm there. And then they take us out to this restaurant, and there are the glowing cuttlefish,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and they bring them out. It's a delicacy, And he's swimming in my bowl. I took the sake and I drowned him, made sure he was knocked out before I ate him.
Hey, at least you did the justice of getting him drunk before he died, huh?
No, one time in Korea, one of my good colleagues, he decided to take me out for some good sushi. And there I had the octopus still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And the tentacles are moving around, and you put that in your mouth.
And how'd you feel about that?
I was okay.
Yeah?
I like octopus.
Some people refuse immediately just by the thought of it.
And it dances all the way down your throat.
Aren't you supposed to chew it first so it doesn't choke you?
Yes.
Did you chew it?
Yeah, I chewed it. I chewed them up. But it's pretty interesting.
It is. But that was part of your team's responsibility was to go, some people are not ready for this.
Right.
But they did a wonderful job. I had a great trip over there. How was your IMTS, by the way? As we start to close this thing out, I'm going to play a few games at the end here, but how was your IMTS? You guys do well?
It was really impressive, right?
Yeah?
This was one of my best booths since I've been here since 2012, and I think it was a great design, an open feeling. People complimented me left and right about the booth layout, how it was open and airy. You felt comfortable going in there and looking at the
It was
technology.
inviting.
Yeah, it was very inviting, and I brought some of our best machines. For years I was showing 2-axis lathes and
the biggest one you've ever brought
3-axis
before too,
machines.
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We brought more high-end machines to the show, products that we're very proud of. And we had 2 machines that we debuted, our AF4, our horizontal, 400 millimeter horizontal, which is designed for the semicon market. And then our new B-axis lathe, the I2. And then I had a giant machine there, a VT 1650, big boy. It actually is a medium-sized machine. Now, we built some really big machines.
Tough to get those into the building.
Yeah. Next year, I'm going to do it again. We're going to bring some big ones in, maybe a big flatbed this time. Yeah. We'll see.
Well,
see
you
what
were
we're gonna make.
gracious enough to spend time with me on some of those premieres,
Yes.
both in Korea
And
and
those
here.
videos turned out great. Thank you.
Well, that's because you were on them. That's because you were on them. The tour, the debuts. Truly, I agree. I agree with what the feedback is that you're receiving, and I hope it's not just your team telling you that the kudos, but the outside people who have come in,
Yes.
because I agree with that. I agree. Yeah. It was clean. It was open. It was friendly. It was airy. It was inviting. Anyone who spent time was going to learn something there as well. It was well supported by your team also, so you could get educated. You also had some quality parts sitting out that you couldn't find on any other booth, and you would have questions about it. I would have questions about it and go, teach me more about what I'm seeing here. I haven't seen this anywhere else. So you did a really wonderful job.
And we had those giant screens up there, right? All
Well,
the
I wasn't
videos we
going to
did.
brag about that. I wasn't going to. But
That was awesome.
So Christian, Bob and I have worked together for a while now. I've mentioned Korea, some filming stuff, right? So Bob had this giant TV on the main part of the booth, and it was all of our videos. So we'd walk by and be like, hey, I know that guy up there. It was my team up there, myself, and that was kind of fun to just walk by and go, wait, am I talking to myself again? I do that a lot.
The AMT actually came by and said, hey, you got to turn that down.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did C.R. Onsrud
too
across? Do I need to talk to Jeff Onsrud about letting you go with the TVs?
Yeah, we were booming it out there.
Yeah.
There was one customer who said, hey, I know that guy talking. Where is he?
That happens. All right, my friend, you want to play a couple of games?
Sure.
Yeah?
I'm up for it.
Before we play these games, and we can do this before or after the games if you want to think about it a little bit, but before we play these games, are there any other final messages you'd like to offer about your own journey for people coming into manufacturing, or even about the technology of Hwacheon itself and what it provides to your customers? I've never heard a bad story from anyone who's worked with you guys. It's all been incredibly positive, which is that's rare to hear. I mean, even if it's 90-10 or 80-20 or 70-30, that's still good for most people, right? And I've not heard a single complaint. We feel like family. We're supported. I call the office and I could ask for anyone in there, and somebody's ready, talk to me, from the president to anyone in any area of the business. I get that all the time. And the reason I'm being a little bit long-winded is just to give you a moment to think about what that answer might be. But is there any messages before we move into this game area that you'd like to give the people listening?
First of all, we talked about how I got into this business. So I would encourage all the young people out there, if you're thinking about manufacturing, go for it. It's an exciting journey. You'll learn so much, and you'll meet so many people. It's an outstanding experience, so they should go for it. And as far as Hwacheon, back in 2012, I was sold in that first little meeting with our chairman, Kwan, pouring me a cup of coffee. There is a difference with Hwacheon. You'll experience it from the first time you buy that machine and start working with Hwacheon and the HMA team, the Hwacheon Machinery America team. To a fault, they never know how to say no.
To a fault. Is that why you told me shush on the customized stuff?
We always say yes to our customers. We want to have happy customers, so come and experience the Hwacheon difference.
And maybe some soju and a tour around the
that's right.
facility. We can learn how to do that together. All right, let's play a couple of games, shall we?
All right.
I've prepped you 0 on this. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, we didn't discuss games.
I'm not a good game player.
Yeah, well, this will be fun then. May as well chug that bourbon so we can get real good real quick. Have you ever played the game 2 Truths and a Lie? Should we play that game, Bob? Do you know how it goes? You tell me 2 truths and 1 lie, but you don't tell me what they are, and I got to try to guess?
Okay.
Or do you need time to think about it? Can you do that one? Can you do that one off the cuff?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, give me 2 truths and a lie in any random order. Myself and the audience will try to guess which one is the lie. I hope you guys and gals out there will leave it in the comments and see if I never get this right, by the way. I've never once got it right. Again, I'm being long-winded to give you time about 2 truths and a lie. But wait, Christian, I think I did get it right once. It might have, one time I think I've gotten this right. And we play this game a lot on here. So 2 truths and a lie. Tell me 2 truths, 1 lie in any random order, and I got to figure out which one that lie is.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start out with myself. I'm a big-time golfer. I love golfing. I own 2 sets of clubs and try to get out every weekend with my buddies. Um, Also, truth about myself is I'm a big outdoor sportsman as well. I love doing that. And one more. Well, I hope to be at Hwacheon until I retire, and that could be another, 6, 7 years.
Well, I feel like you paused, so I thought the last one was gonna be a lie, but the third one cannot be a lie. So I'm gonna go with you're not a big time sportsman, and you do like golf. Oh no! You don't like golf?
I hate golf.
Oh gosh! You started with the lie. I told you I'd never get this game right, ever. Not once. Well, once, only once. Which one was your guess, Christian?
That was very impressive. The first one was not gonna be my guess. It was the last one because he paused suspiciously.
But he would never throw his own company under the bus, so it couldn't
and
be.
then yeah.
So he
The
got
first
me.
one was very convincing though.
So you are a sportsman then?
Oh, I love outdoor sports.
Okay.
I mean, hunting and
Yeah,
fishing.
yeah,
and
yeah. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, camping and stuff.
Do you big game hunt or just like in the
No,
Illinois area?
I'm more of a bird hunter. So
Okay.
upland hunting. I love pheasant hunting, turkey hunting, stuff like that.
How often do you get to do that?
Well, actually, this month, I think I can go again for turkey.
Okay.
So yeah.
And fishing as well.
Fishing is over.
But for like in your life or
No,
for the season?
For the season. Yeah.
What kind of fishing do you like?
I like freshwater fishing. I've never got the opportunity to do this deep sea fishing. I'd love to try it, come out here to Florida and try that, but I haven't had a chance. I always went with my dad up to Canada and for walleye and, northern pike and stuff like
If you get that amazing smile of yours back down here to Florida, I will rent a boat and we'll go
there you
tarpon
go.
fishing with Christian. Christian, you want to go tarpon fishing? Yeah, I've never done it myself, and I'm not big into fishing. And in fact, when I get on a boat in the ocean, I get seasick. But for you, Bob, I will do it. I'll take 75 Dramamine
there
and
you
go
go.
fishing for the first time because I hear tarpon fishing is incredible. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
if we can
I'd
go
love to try that.
if we can go to Key West to do it, I might not have to worry about the waves. Because Key West is flat as can be, and I know it's big in Key West, so maybe I can get away with it. So we'll make that deal. We'll go back to Korea in 2026. We'll get 10 buses worth of people to come see the facility, and you and I will go tarpon fishing to celebrate. I think
Sounds like a plan.
It's a good plan. All right, we got a couple minutes left. You want to play a game called Would You Rather?
Sure.
So Would You Rather is kind of this game where it's 2 situations, and you get to choose which one you like and why.
Okay.
Right? So I have a 1 through, and we're going to skip 1 because I already gave you a clue, but a 1 through 40. Give me your first favorite number.
7.
7 it is. So would you rather manage a large, bustling automobile factory or a small, bespoke luxury watch workshop?
The automotive.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, that's cool because I'll do the watches and you can do the automotive and we'll make a great team. Why would you pick automotive?
Just always looking for advanced technology to manufacture your
yeah.
cars. There's a lot of robot applications, and yeah, I think that would be exciting. The watch thing, if you said making duck calls or something, yeah, I would be there.
Duck calls.
But watch too tedious, and my eyesight's getting bad.
What's that duck show that's so popular on TV?
Duck Dynasty.
Oh, we gonna do the next episode, next season, next version of that? We're gonna.
There you go.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, I'll make the watches so you can wear my watches.
Actually,
and
I
you can
sold a machine to a guy making duck calls. That's all he did. He bought the machine, put it in his garage, and he was making duck calls.
Where?
Up in Pennsylvania somewhere.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
And did he give you one as a sample?
No. I had to go buy one.
Did you give him a deal on the machine?
No, actually, he was making the duck calls for Duck Dynasty.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He had his mom sitting there assembling them. It was unbelievable. He had a shop like 4 guys, one machine.
In his garage?
Yeah, in his garage. It's
In
pretty cool.
the woods of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, deep woods.
I met a guy one time, a little off topic, that was doing something similar. So he would go to car shows and he would use the scanner for old antique cars that don't have the parts anymore.
Oh, yeah,
And he'd scan the parts, go back to his machine shop in his garage in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and machine parts that were just not available anymore and make tons and just ship them through, UPS or whatever. Make great money and just enjoyed his peace and quiet in the woods. Some of those Pennsylvania guys got it figured out, it sounds like. I'm going to go there. All right, second favorite number.
Second favorite number, 3.
3 it is. All right. Would you rather have the ability to instantly diagnose any machine issue? Ooh, I kind of like that one. Or be able to fix any problem with just a basic tool set?
Machine.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
cool, right?
Yeah, it would.
Any problem at all?
Any problem.
Oh,
That'd
that's
be
like
cool.
a superpower for our industry. Like you want to have a real superhero with a cape, someone that could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, third favorite number, and we'll close this thing out.
Third. I don't have a third favorite number.
All right, then how about I pick number 7 for the clever and thought-provoking rapid-fire questions, and I'll go to 7. Since it's your favorite number. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Rapid fire, just the first thing that pops into your mind, 7. Is AI and a manufacturer, an AI, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I am Adam Sandler at some points because I can't talk. I think it was Billy Madison or something used to talk like that. Anyway, back to this one. Is AI in manufacturing a blessing or a curse?
Blessing.
Blessing it is, and that's how we close it out for everyone watching. Thank you so much. If you have spent time with us, I always close this out with the same thing, but it's important to understand time is the one thing we cannot manufacture more of. So if you spent time with us today, we truly appreciate you. Bob, here's to you. Here's to Hwacheon. Here's to your time, and here's to all the people out there that have enjoyed this show today. Thank you so much for watching and listening.